Today's brilliant move comes from the game Kozul Popovic. This was actually a great game won by white, and if you play the King's Indian defense, I recommend looking up the game for its instructive themes. However, we're going to focus just on a variation here where white had to dodge a great bit of counterplay from black. If you're playing the King's Indian defense, black will always have counterplay and you always have to be careful. If you've not been careful and it's now black's move, black has a fantastic combination. There's queen takes g2 check. This isn't too complicated, but I love the geometry and I couldn't resist sharing it. After queen takes g2, the king can't really run because the rook on f3 is hanging, and that basically ends things. So if king takes, we have knight f4 with a double check from the knight and the rook. Of course, famously, when you have a powerful double check, the king cannot block the check, or white cannot block the check here because you can't block two checks, and you also can't capture the pieces giving check because you can't capture two pieces. So you're always reduced to having to move the king when you're in double check. Here, there are only two squares. Notice, of course, that h3 is conveniently covered by the knight, another nice piece of the geometry in this puzzle. If the king runs into the corner, we have rook to g1 and checkmate. And if the king runs to f1, we have the same checkmate, but it's even more beautiful with the knight helping out and covering e2. This isn't really complicated, but I always appreciate a beautiful checkmating pattern, and this isn't one that I'd seen before, so I wanted to include it here in Brilliant Moves. If you like queen takes g2 and you want to see more brilliant moves, do check out our playlist, which has over a dozen really fantastic moves at this point.